So welcome to the Cruising is Life podcast. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or just starting out, we have something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and get ready to set sail with us on the Cruising is Life podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Sorry. Welcome back to another Cruising is Life podcast. We're back for another weekly episode. Sorry, Justin was... he like had the ice maker going in his fridge in the background as we were trying to be silent.
I'm making a cocktail right now.
Welcome back for another weekly podcast. We've got a very exciting one with a review of the Norwegian Viva. Demetri is back. Well, he's been back for a while, but we finally got around to getting this done. Yeah, it's been a while.
Welcome back, Demetri. We missed you.
Yes, welcome back after your month-long trip.
For basically.
It was.
But yes, so today we're going to kind of dive in. We're going to interrogate him or ask him a bunch of questions about his trip, how he liked the ship, and things like that. So, without further ado, just kind of give us a quick little rundown of what you did, where you went, all that type of thing.
Yeah, so I was on the Norwegian Viva out of Athens for 7 days. No sea days, so port every day. We went to Volos, Bodrum, Santorini, Mykonos, Rhodes, and Crete. And then we flew back home.
Very cool.
Very nice.
The no sea days is kind of crazy, to be honest.
I know.
Especially for a 7 day.
Nerd that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The nerd that I am was very tired by day 5 of waking up early to watch us come into every port.
Yeah, no thank you. I think
Agreed.
I did one sea day on a 7 night before. That was like a long time ago. That was way before I was doing this, to where I was sleeping in every day.
Yeah.
But so out of all those places, what was your favorite place, or where was your favorite stop?
I'd probably say Santorini, honestly. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, especially with what we did. You know, other people may have different opinions on it, but I enjoyed Santorini thoroughly.
Right, that's the one that has like all the white buildings and everything like that, right? Kind of
Like up on the
The
mountainside.
buildings are all over Greece, but yes, the white buildings up on the top of the mountain.
Yes, that one. The one where the picture of the thumbnail of this of this video is.
Yes, that's Santorini.
That one. I ripped that one right off of your page. But
Classic.
Where's the copyright by it?
but yes. So I guess with the ship, so you're the only one out of our group that's been on a Prima class, and you know those clearly have been getting, you know, interesting reviews to say the least. You know, how was the ship? Like, what were your expectations, and like how it, you know, kind of went along with your expectations?
Well, to start, my expectations were not as high as maybe other cruises. Like if I were to go on like Wonder of the Seas, like when we did, I had high expectations. But here, these ships got such mixed reviews. I was like, I don't know what to expect. And anywhere you read, you get both good and bad. So it's like, I'm expecting the worst. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I don't know if I'd expect the worst, but yes, I definitely see where you're getting.
Not the worst.
That's how I was with MSC.
Okay, yeah, MSC. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. MSC was the worst. Anywho,
I'm blacklisted with them apparently after that viral video. So
Big time.
Yeah, it's okay. They're not watching this. I enjoyed the ship in the end. I like both the big ships and the small ships. You know, our party was basically half and half. I like it. I don't like it. It's just different, you know, and going forward now, you know, well, if the ship is half the size of the one that's got the basketball court, the water slides, and the ropes course, you're going to have to cancel. Like, you're going to have to get rid of some things. You know what I mean?
right,
Hi, Pablo. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
So was it super cramped feeling?
No, I didn't feel cramped at all. Didn't feel crowded at all. We were at capacity. There was like 1 or 2 rooms that weren't booked. I never felt like crowded on the ship. There weren't really any lines for anything.
Okay.
But going into it, I feel like that also has to do with there's a port every day.
Hmm.
I know we'll probably get to it, but the pool deck on a sea day would be an issue. I'm
Okay.
just gonna say it. It's an issue, and they
Right.
people say they fixed it with Aqua, and we're gonna test that out for ourselves. Sorry, Brandon's parents, if you're watching, but
Oh, they know about Luna.
oh, okay, good.
I think they know about everything now.
Then do they know about our cruise coming up?
Which one?
I mean, what cruise?
Which one?
Oh,
um, but yeah, we're gonna go on Luna though. We're like on like the second full sailing out of Miami, which is awesome.
Something like
Something
that,
like
yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, that was like my biggest thing was how the pool deck would be, and I feel like I've seen better reviews and the more positive reviews coming from people are on these sailings that have less and less sea days, kind of like yours.
because that's what the ships are sailing. So
Mm-hmm. Like when Prima and Viva
Norwegian
were here, and like when Prima was in Canaveral, or it does a little bit better in New York, but when it was in Canaveral or over in Galveston, we had a couple sea days to get down to the Western Caribbean. Like I've seen the more mixed reviews because of the crowded pool deck, because it is a little more cramped, but they seem to be doing really better, or like a lot better up in like New York, where they're going to places, up in like Canada, or even like the Iceland and Northern Europe cruises. They seem to do and review well up there.
And I think this ship would do well in Alaska. It's got the giant boardwalk. It's got, an observation lounge with a bar, food, drinks, anything you want up there.
Mm-hmm.
Board games, yada, yada. And I mean, there's plenty of places, especially, around the ship to take in Alaska.
That would be really cool, actually. I know they love putting ships up in Alaska. I mean, all three breakaway, well, not all three, but 3 of the 4 that can actually go up there, will go pretty much every summer now, at least this year and next.
The Panama Canal, or are they too thick?
I'm pretty sure they're fine.
They have to be if they're going to Alaska every summer.
No, the Prima class.
I'm thinking of something else. I don't know.
The Prima class should be fine because they have the tucked lifeboats. They should be completely fine, to my knowledge.
But does that promenade, whatever you want to call it, that promenade deck down low, hang off too low for the like when they lower it?
No idea.
Like, does that make sense?
I have no idea, to be honest. If they're still pretty considerably smaller, though, then... And, well,
Yeah.
that promenade deck hangs over on the Breakaway Plus ships as well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool to see one of those ships up there. I think it would do awesome.
But, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll just get through the places quickly, and then we can go more into the ship.
Okay.
Athens. So I'm Greek. Obviously, I know you two know it, but maybe everybody else doesn't.
You're Greek?
So it's good to know the language.
You are?
First I've heard of this.
Oh my god!
So we know the language.
I didn't know.
Look at my name and try again.
Lucateris?
I've never
No,
come across a
Lucas
Greek man
in
named.
the Jurassic Park series.
I've never met a Greek man named Demetri. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so Athens is basically like the New York of Greece, so just like a city, whatever.
Mm.
But when it comes to their port, their embarkation terminal is a freaking tent. So,
Oh, that's right.
it was fine. It didn't. So we had gotten the most texts that I had ever gotten to not get to the port before your time.
Really?
It was like 5 or 7 emails, constant. Don't come. Go away. We don't have room for you. But then like we get there and they're like, get inside, shoot, go.
Like get into the ship?
Yeah, to get into the terminal. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
They had like 40-something people checking things in. I know, Justin, we were talking about this the other day, but Norwegian, I guess, still does the cards in the terminal instead of on your door.
Really?
So you get your card in the terminal.
It's very weird.
Hmm.
And that's what takes, on a side note, on Epic, that's what took the longest, was after they like check you in, they have to go over to their little
printer
stand, ask for your room number, they have to look through all the cards. It's a pain.
That's
But
annoying.
I don't think we waited in line for more than a minute or two.
That's good.
That's good.
In that line, but I could see how on busy thing, like it still holds things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then got onto the ship. Athens was good. We were with one of the Resilient Lady. We were with one of the. I have to look back at my pictures. One of the Virgin Voyages ships, which was cool, even though I've seen it a couple times. That was a nice one to see because they're technically the same kind of design.
Right.
And cool to see how much bigger Viva was than that ship, even though Viva isn't that big.
So speaking of, you mentioned the same design. We've been on MSC's version of it, which is of course the Seaside class, or the Seascape is what we've been on. How did the layout, was like the layout of the ship similar to Seascape, or was it like its completely own unique design on the inside?
No, it was completely different.
Okay.
I think Norwegian executed it better because after, the first or second day, I was like, okay, I don't need the map anymore, But I sailed on Seascape twice, and I still don't know where I'm going, I don't know what it is. It may have been the alcohol, but alcohol was also consumed on the Viva, so I'm not.
It was a factor.
That. Yeah, I don't know if that has a huge factor, but
like I know with Seascape, it's like deck 5 only goes one direction and there's rooms the other. Then deck 6 goes one way but not the other, and it dead ends.
Yeah,
but then
that was very
7 goes
frustrating.
back but not forward, and then 8 just goes like both ways but only down one side of the ship. So it's like it's a confusing layout, and with the elevator banks only lets out on one side. It's like a little pocket instead of just like an opening. So that's good that it's a little bit different. I didn't mind that design. It just took me a little bit to get used to with MSC, but at the same time, it's good. Obviously, it definitely could have been better. So it's cool that Norwegian's was a little bit better design and layout.
Yeah. I enjoyed the, the 6, 7, 8 kind of thing. Everything's on those 3, decks.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, the Atrium, I know I'm trying to get through the places before I talk about the ship, but the Atrium, I had no problems with the Atrium. I get it. You can't walk in a full circle. Just walk 10 more steps around the elevators and you can make your circle. And it would look like an ellipse instead of a circle. I promise you'll be okay. It was kind of like the people who have been complaining on like Wonder and like Icon Class, like the board, not the boardwalk, but the promenade. There's a lot of music spilling, from different things.
Yeah.
If somebody's, playing Latin music downstairs, by the Latino bar or whatever it was called, you could hear it if you were sitting on the upper deck listening to like another singer. But I mean, that is what it is. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. I feel like that's just a thing with most ships, is like you can't really avoid the music spilling. I remember on Wonder it was like excessively loud that caused some of the sound spilling into other areas, but like, it's gonna be, it's not like you go from one area to another and it's just like an invisible wall to where, sound just doesn't pass that area. But some ships are worse than other when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, true. Okay, let me go through the places. Volos was the first stop. If you closed your eyes and opened them again, you looked like you were in Nassau, Bahamas in an industrial port. I mean,
Really?
It was I don't want to say horrible, but you could have interchanged it with Freeport and you could have tricked anybody.
That's the place that nobody ever really goes to, right? That was like kind of one of the weird ones.
That's supposed to go to Thessaloniki instead of Volos. I don't know why they switched it. I think it's because Greeks hate the cruise ships, so they just changed us to another place. We ended up having a good time there. We got off. You had to take a little shuttle bus to like kind of the city center, and then we just walked around, shopped a little bit. Kind of didn't really do anything, but once you get out of the port, it's nice. It's not overly touristy. They're not grabbing you by your hand and pulling you into the shops.
Wish somebody would grab me by my hand.
I got you, Pookie. Just you wait.
Ooh, yay. I get a little lonely these days.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, some of those, especially Jamaica, I feel like sometimes like you really have to like kind of be careful, like, or like you do feel like somebody's gonna grab you in some of these places in the Caribbean. So that's good that you didn't feel like sketched out anywhere.
No, and I mean it helps that we knew the language, but even other people who were walking around, they never said that they feel the Greeks could care less. They're like, I don't want you. Like, go, shoot.
Good.
They don't.
You kind of blend in.
Right. You don't want to associate. They don't want to associate. So yeah, that was good. I mean, the stop was cool. Then Bodrum, Turkey, exceeded our expectations. It's kind of one of the least stopped Turkish ports after probably like Istanbul and Kusadasi, all those ones. But it was good. We walked. We went to the beach for a little bit. We explored the town and got back on the ship. It wasn't too much. We kind of treated that as our sea day. And then I'll spill it into the ship. Everybody else kind of treated it as their sea day too. And yeah, the pool deck was pretty full. And considering it was a port day, yikes. Like, there were plenty of chairs, but the pool was full.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
was the pool like a good size? I know we keep going from the destinations back to the ship, but we'll get actually like into the ship in this minute though. So I guess I'll save this question for later. It's about the pool though.
Great. We'll come back to the pool because I got a lot more to say about the pool. Anyway,
yes.
Bodrum was good. Santorini, amazing day. We rented a private catamaran and it took us around to volcanic hot springs and different places and lunch. It was amazing. Santorini, beautiful, all the tourist spots. We were only there with 3 other ships, and they were all relatively small. Casa ship, MSC Lyrica, and a luxurious Nugular, the Azamara, whatever it's called. And
Very nice.
The Costa ship that was Pacifica, right?
that's Beachcomber.
Or
That's
yeah,
Beachcomber.
I don't know if is it Pacifica? Whatever one ends up being Beachcomber. Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
Fortuna.
Fortuna, that's what it is.
Fortuna.
Pacifica is a Concordia class. That's what I don't know what I think of her, but yes.
Yes, it's a little
Fortuna. That's cool that you got to see that, but like before it becomes Beachcomber.
Right before they do it.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So get ready on Cruise for Life in a couple of years when Beachcomber comes to Tampa. Fortuna versus Beachcomber, which would you choose? Taken by me.
The Beachcomber will not fit into Tampa, unfortunately.
If you hit the bridge hard enough.
That's true. Then you'll definitely fit.
So yeah, Santorini was great. Mykonos, amazing as well. We beached it. Went through the little town. Swam with Novak Djokovic and a whole bunch of other TikTokers. And Afrojack was there.
What?
John Summit was there somewhere.
Ooh, sounds like the guy from Applejacks.
Afrojack? He's the guy that...
The DJ. You don't know the DJ guy?
Have you ever heard the
No.
song Because I Got High? That's the guy.
Yes. Oh, I like
the
that
guy that sings that. Yeah. I was gonna clean my room
Until I get high. I love that song.
So yeah, Mykonos, amazing, expensive. It was kind of funny because we were the only people in our party that were not in the Haven.
Okay.
So they all booked a beach club. That was, I believe, like $400 or $500 per person per day there in Mykonos. That included, lunch, dinner, chair, all that. but like right next to it, within eye distance, was the free beach. So that's where we went, and we had a great time. So
Nice.
don't get scammed, people. There's definitely ways to not spend money in Mykonos and have the exact same experience.
Yeah. I feel like
Then-
Mykonos being like the big Greek destination, I feel like that one's definitely got the most tourist traps of any of them.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, I even saw it, people were like, oh, $40 taxis, but the bus is $1 per person.
Oh my God.
It's like, if you don't know better, you don't know better. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So do
Right.
Yeah.
research, know before you go. There's plenty of things on the internet, and they're not all bad. I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just got to
Mykonos is amazing.
do a little research.
Yes. And there we were with Odyssey, which
Ooh.
I don't know what happened, because on none of our paperwork, on none of the TVs, on none of the announcements, did it ever say it was going to be a tender port for us until the morning, and they said, oh yeah, we're tendering. So it was fine. But, like with Santorini, they're like, get your tender, passes,
Right.
get your number, get your blah, blah, blah. But like Mykonos, they were like, just go,
Maybe it was an unexpected tender, like last minute, and they're like, "Oh, great."
Because I guess how they do it is they switch every other week. So if you're tendering one week, the next week you get the dock, and
Right.
you swap back and forth.
Gotcha.
But the week before we were tendering, and we were like, well, we have the dock. It doesn't say that we're tendering. But then I get up, I wake outside, we're coming towards the island, and then we just stop. I'm like, why are we stopping? So it was fine. Extremely windy. Tenders were fine. Odyssey was cool to see. And then there was other, like a sailing boat. I don't know which one it was, but that was cool. Mykonos, great. And then I'll just combine Crete and Rhodes together. We did just walk around the town. There was like an ancient town, castle, medieval stuff, blah, blah, blah. Ate lunch, food, both places, toured the island in another, got to see the whole touristy thing, and that kind of stuff. But those were good. We were only with some other luxurious nuggulars. A lot of luxurious nuggulars over there.
Nuggulars.
There are quite a few over there. It was very cool. It was great to see. A lot of the times, everyone's about ready to go back at 1 o'clock. I'm like, can I just stay out here?
Right.
I'm gonna go picture the ship, go to the beach by myself. I can fend for myself. But I
Right.
understand that if you don't know the language, you probably wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
question about the whole trip in itself. So Norwegian offers like a thing where you can book your airfare through Norwegian. Is that something that you
Yes.
did for this cruise?
We didn't.
Okay.
We would have, but after the cruise, we stayed an additional week with family in Greece. So, but we did use that for the first time we went to Europe with Norwegian. It was a 12-day or something on, which was supposed to be the inaugural sailing of Norwegian Viva, but COVID had other ideas and they switched us to Getaway.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of our redemption on getting back on Viva.
Interesting.
They took care of everything. You got there 2 days before, and you left like a day and a half after. So they gave plenty of
good.
time, and please, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just fly in the same day as my cruise. Don't
No,
do
Wrong.
it. Don't
Wrong.
do it. Please don't.
Don't do that.
The last time we went to Europe, half of our party got stuck in Newark
Ugh.
because of some unforeseen reasons, and they made it onto the ship in Athens last time with 30 minutes to spare, and then missed the 2 days of excursions we had planned before our trip. So don't do it. Just get there, make it work. But don't stress yourself out like that.
Interesting. Yeah.
But
So.
yeah. Okay. So now questions about the ship. Please flood me with them questions.
So I guess to start with the pool deck, because I know that's always the hot topic with these, I feel like. So how was it, despite even being like, no sea days or anything like that? Like, was it too small? Was it too cramped?
I don't think the pool deck is too small. I think the pool area is like too small. Like if that makes sense. Like you have tons of seats. You have, the 2 hot tubs on the side, but
Okay.
obviously in Greece it's 115 flipping degrees outside. You want to be in the pool. And nobody wants to be in the hot tub,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
everyone's trying to be in the pool and it's like, all right, well, the pool's, a normal size. Like it's not huge by any means.
Okay.
So
That was
sure,
my
you
next
have the
question.
pools.
If it was like a really small pool, because I know
It was
like
a
Joy's
size.
tiny, but that was for other
Joy is
reasons.
tiny because the Chinese don't like to go bathing, and that's who it was made for. But even the pools down by the promenade, great. They filled up, but those are great. If those were, it would be a mess if they didn't have those.
Mm-hmm.
But plenty of deck chairs. Deck space is not an issue. They have the main pool deck. You go up a deck. There's more chairs up by the kid area and the water slide. And then there's an additional deck on top of that for the entrance of the water slide. And it's just a huge sun deck up there. Plenty of seats. Never had an issue trying to find. And while we're up there, slide was cool. Short. There's no shade though. So you're like waiting in line and you're burning your feet because there's no like awning.
Right.
Because there's no stairs to get to it, if that makes sense. Like it's just on that deck.
Right.
Right. And they have what is it? Is it a dry slide that goes down the side of the ship too?
Okay, yeah. So I thought both sides were the same, but they're not.
They're not.
One side is a drop where you like go in the beanbag and you go down and it drops you. And then the other side is where you sit down and then you scoot yourself. And then that's how you go down.
Interesting.
So I did both. And let's compare it to Wonder of the Seas, Brandon, since you've been on that one.
Okay. The Ultimate Abyss.
The Ultimate Abyss. The drop one was a lot faster than Wonders. I'm going to see that. Carry, yes, you get slowed down in the clear section.
That's funny.
But, yeah, that's a funny comment. Yes. The clear section is slow, but it's only towards the top. And then the other side where you scoot yourself down, it's extremely slow. Like, don't do it. Glad they got rid of it on Aqua. Unnecessary,
Okay. Kind of a subject
yeah.
change, but I see a comment right above it, and you mentioned Aqua. So where the pool is going through the buffet, there's something where I think you can only get to one. You have to go through the buffet to get to a certain section. Is that?
Yes, this is so frustrating. This was going to be on my rant, but I'll rant now.
Just go ahead and get the rant out of the way, then we'll end with the positive stuff.
Walk through the buffet if I'm trying to get myself some French fries, and I got to deal with the teenagers trying to run from the arcade to the pool deck, and they almost knock my plate over. I may just punch them in the face.
Teenagers.
And that's just unnecessary traffic.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't want to. But yeah, to get to the rear elevators from the pool deck, you have to walk through the buffet and then get to the elevators.
Interesting. That's an odd design
Which
choice.
sucks.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. So then the fix would be make the bar smaller, scoot it. Don't know how, figure it out. Make a hallway down the center of the ship so people could just walk right through, in and out, boom. Just like every other ship, every Carnival ship, every other Norwegian ship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe the race car track is too heavy. Figure it out. I don't know.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I don't know why they did that. While we're on the subject of the buffet, yeah, but a lot of people say there's not enough seats. I never had a problem finding a seat.
Okay.
They opened whatever the other restaurant is, Palomar, whatever it's called, for seating.
Okay.
Great, no issues. A lot of people don't know if you go around the corner, there's like all the way in the back, there's burgers and stuff.
Perfect.
Cool.
I know where Justin's
I
going.
thought it was, yeah, right.
Busted.
No cheese,
I
though.
do
I'm going for that French onion soup.
have
No
French onion
cheese
soup
on that
literally
burger.
every day.
No cheese. Get that out of here.
And the thing is what I did like is that they had, unlike MSC, just plain burgers. I don't need chimichurri and sauerkraut and
Yuck.
your mom on top of my hamburger. Like,
Well, hold on now.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Hold on. I agree with the first few things.
Depends. Who's mom?
Good question.
but yeah, I did enjoy that. Fried rice was there all the time. French onion soup was there all the time. The food itself, I'd say, was average. I mean, Royal, I'd say, the same, maybe a little bit better than MSC.
I would hope so.
Nothing nothing crazy good, nothing crazy bad, just fine.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you mentioned MSC. When I was on Star a couple of weeks ago, one of the creators that I was hanging out with was the Cruising Sisters, and they were going on the seashore right afterwards, and we were all talking one night, and they're like, yeah, we're going to try to do it with no specialty dining. And Adam and I both look at them and go, no. Like,
No.
No.
Yeah.
They're like, do yourself the favor, get the specialty dining. The specialty dining on MSC is fantastic, but the free food is the worst. So do yourself a favor and just do it. But anyways,
Yeah.
that was a side note. You mentioned the MSC in their buffet food. I was like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. While I'm on the subject of food, we had 3 nights of specialty dining. We only ended up going to 2. We did teppanyaki and the steakhouse.
Perfect.
I think both were excellent.
Okay.
The food portions were a lot better than MSC. The steak was better than Royal. But I mean, I think the teppanyaki, they just gave you food. That's just one thing you missed on MSC. I'd say it's about the same show as all the other ones.
They do the little onion choo-choo train with the fire and choo-choo.
Right, yeah, the egg anaconda, the sneaky snake, but
so
everything was good.
That's good. So with the food hall, that's kind of like a newer concept on this class. What is that and how does that work?
So it's on deck 8, which is the same deck as the promenade, all the way in the back of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 7 or 8 different kind of food truck option kind of things. They each have, 5, 6 different things on the menu. You sit down, you order what you want, and then like in a minute or 2, somebody brings it out to you.
And this is free?
Free, yes. Free for me, for you, for everybody. They also
we love that.
serve breakfast.
I love that.
Yeah, thankfully it's free. They served breakfast back there, which a lot of people didn't know, so it was always pretty quiet.
Nice.
And it was just your normal breakfast: bacon, eggs, pancakes, waffles, all that.
So was it like different types of specific types of options down there that aren't offered up there, or is it like a kind of just a second buffet?
It's not just the same. Maybe they were like special, like ethnic stuff down there, but I don't remember there being anything crazy different than what was up in the regular buffet. While I'm talking about the buffet, I did like how they kept the burger section open during the switching times. So between breakfast and lunch, that 30 minutes, they left it open for you to eat. Between lunch and dinner, that 30 minutes, they left it open. so you're not
That's good.
starving,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's always
I
I
did
always
like,
found it weird that like that weird transition period where like Royal just completely shuts everything down. They close everything off, and everything. But then there's Carnival that just like they close down Guy's Burgers, but that's like the one thing you would probably go to eat if you're not going to go to the main dining room.
Yeah.
But then they have like one option within the buffet at night. So
Yeah.
that's good. How I guess like for the actual buffet in the evening, if you weren't going to the main dining room, how were the options? Was it like Carnival where it's only like one, or is it the same stuff?
well, I mean, just like everybody else, the buffet closes at 9:30, but the local, which I believe is similar to O'Sheehan's on all the other ships, is open 24 hours for both the bar side and the sit down and you get served side, and it's free.
I think that's a nice thing that Norwegian does, because we did it a lot on Epic where it was just like 24/7 included. It was really nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it's burgers, fries, panini,
Right.
Cuban,
It's basic stuff.
little bites, French fry,
Yeah.
late night stuff.
Nice.
And then so I did like, compared to MSC where there's 5 entrances to the buffet and not people staring at you to wash your hands, there's only 2 entrances, I mean technically 3, but 2 entrances for the buffet, and there was always somebody standing there washy.
Good, as it should be.
Yeah.
As it should be. The MSC where I could walk into the buffet and not be forced to wash my hands, that's a big no.
Yeah. Pre-COVID, that was normal, but nowadays I prefer the washy-washy people.
We're a little more sanitary these days.
Slightly.
A little bit.
Some of us are.
Hey, what is that supposed to mean?
But yeah, we did the go-karts, cool, great. It was kind of cool. I don't remember it being like this on Joy, but you can zap people with like laser guns on the viewing platform area and make them go faster, make them go slower, depending on what color light they had flashing. So you could, mess with your friends or help your friends. And then had 2 different.
I would get Justin with the little boost right as he's heading into a corner. Boom! Into the corner, into the wall.
Little do you know, when I see you at any point during the course, I'm just gonna go right into you.
I'm gonna get sent through the wall.
They were the weight of the car and the weight of me. You're done.
So it's funny you mentioned that. When I did Bliss a couple years ago, Kiki and I did it, my sister, and she there was one corner where she just couldn't get it, and every time that same corner, and I've got it on videos somewhere, but she just smack it every time she made that turn. She couldn't get it.
So, it's a little off topic of where we're at, but did you note, and this could just be because it's Europe and it's a different kind of cruise, but did you notice a different type of crowd on board? Now, I know it's Norwegian. They have a different crowd to begin with, but did you notice maybe it was an older crowd because of where you were going, or like was it different than what you normally have?
So the crowd was very, cool, calm, collected. There were kids, but not too many kids, because we kind of went at like the end of the summer season. Like the day we got back was the day that school started for a majority of the country.
Okay.
So, we were on that
Interesting.
cusp. Not a gazillion kids, but they were still kids, but they were okay.
Okay.
I feel like that's
but
pretty
the crowd
on
was
par.
really-
Yeah, I feel like that's on par for Norwegian, though. They're usually very... They're laid back on Norwegian. It's,
For sure. Even when I did Epic in the Caribbean in the middle of the, January, whatever it was the same thing. It was just different than what you would see maybe on Royal and Carnival and stuff like that. So I think that's just what Norwegian, where they're at right now.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know how to to describe it. Like it's just not an older crowd, but like a more mature crowd. You're not getting you're not getting the party, which is interesting because they offer the free drink packages, or not free, but like it's included in your cruise fare. That's why Norwegian is typically more expensive. So you'd expect some crazy party cruises or some insane drunk crowds, but I never really hear anything about that type of thing on Norwegian. Whereas Carnival has to keep lowering their limits because they keep getting so out of control. You know?
Right. And I think it has to do a lot with, I mean, obviously the cruise line has a big part in that, but I think it has to do a lot with the itinerary as well. And this might be a bad example, but my parents are on Majestic Princess right now out of Boston, a 10-night to Quebec City. So it's, you know, your Northeast America. They went to Boston. They went to, I don't know, wherever it was, but they're up in Canada. They're going up to Canada and stuff like that. And they said even for Princess, like they're in their early 60s, and they said even for Princess, it's a much older crowd. And I think that has to do with they're at, because we did a Princess cruise in the Caribbean. And again, it's not Carnival levels, but there was a lot younger type people there. So I think that has to do a lot with where you're going. So when you do a Greece cruise and it's 7 days of just in a port, you know, you're probably not going to get a lot of younger kids that are going out doing that kind of stuff. So, you know, so I think that has a big part. But again, it's also the cruise line, you know. I bet you if Carnival was doing something like that, you'd have 80% of the people, you know, our age.
Yeah, I was going to say Carnival, because they're still, their prices have gotten more expensive, but they are still the cheaper option. So you know, and especially if you were to include drink packages, that would just be a recipe for disaster.
That's a certified Demetri.
Because I think that's probably one thing that plays into Norwegian's favor a little bit, is because they do have slightly higher prices. You know, they're getting the more of the crowd that's there to enjoy the cruise rather than go off the wall partying.
Exactly. And that's kind of where Carnival's at right now. So whatever.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Royal's like kind of like halfway in between. They still lean a little bit more towards where Norwegian is, but they're still, you know, they're still kind of in between there, and they don't have a limit on the drink package either, which is insane.
Hey, I can't wait for that next week. Oops, I mean, no, not that.
So I guess as we continue to trash Carnival, sorry Carnival, it's not intentional.
Honestly, they deserve it for what they're doing right now. I'm sorry, but
look, this didn't mean to turn into a Carnival rant, but I love Carnival. I've grew up cruising with them, and you know, I like their ships, but the business decisions that they've been making lately, I can't get behind that.
Just very bad. It's, I don't know what they're thinking, but it's not going to work.
Their loyalty program has turned into basically a credit card reward program. And
it's bad. You basically give us $100,000, or you can go kick rocks.
You got to pay $30,000 a year to maintain a platinum status, and then you also have to pay $16 for a cheeseburger on the private island when you've got Guy's Burgers on board. And then, latest and greatest news out of John Heald, happy to tell everybody that we now have to pay $2 for a donut.
Thank God. You know, I was hoping they would charge.
Or no, it's $3 for a donut or 2 for $5. Great deals. A donut.
Fantastic.
A donut.
That's not even that good.
No. And
let's just be real,
churros.
You know, they're not that good.
And churros, which I can get a bag of them from Surfside on Icon. So again, this didn't mean to turn into a Carnival hate or anything like that, but
we just had to get it in there.
I love Carnival, but I can't support the poor decisions that they've been making, like business wise. Every decision they've made lately is so anti-consumer. I'm amazed that they even have a fan base.
It's crazy.
Anyways, back to Norwegian.
Back to Demetri.
So with the whole loyalty thing, so what status do you have on Norwegian? Because I'm pretty low since I don't cruise with them all that often.
We're platinum,
Okay.
so it's with like the discount stuff. We got like a free night of dinner extra
Okay.
that we didn't use, which fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the perks
I
are
don't know,
kind of decent.
laundry we got. Yeah,
What was that?
a free bag of laundry.
Okay.
Okay. That's not terrible because there's a lot of Norwegian cruises that do longer type cruises, so that's not a terrible perk.
No, that's
No, yeah, we used it.
Carnival used to do that.
Right. Well, don't even get me started.
But yeah.
So going back to the crowd was good. I did like how, I'm standing outside of the, main dining room, and people were getting turned away for how they're dressed.
I love that.
Please come back in
Good.
nicer clothing. I like that.
I love
No,
that.
t-shirts, flip-flops, and shorts. Nope. They said,
Yes, the main dining room is supposed to be casual, but like not, sweatpants.
Not your pajamas.
You should You shouldn't be in their pajamas
It's
or
like
a t-shirt. It's like
a business, basically a business casual is like the better way to describe it. Like you need to be like semi nice, like slacks. Even blue jeans are like kind of cutting it close.
Yes, agreed.
So I love that they actually turn people away because I know that was, that's a thing where yes, they tell you like yes, that's what you need to wear, but if people show up in less than casual attire, they will just be like, oh, okay, sorry, like you can still come in, you're just not supposed to be like that,
right?
Don't just let it happen. Basically everybody else lets it happen,
and that's the thing, because they have like their rules, but then they're like, whatever, like you're here, like just come in, like come on, like is it a big deal that you're wearing whatever you want to wear? You're on a cruise. In the grand scheme of things, no. But
if you want to have if you're gonna go
toe fingers crawling under the table next to me.
If you're gonna go out for a nice meal at home, if you're gonna go, say you're gonna go out to, you don't even have to go to like a Ruth's Chris like steakhouse or something like that. You just gotta go to like a nice like, I don't know, even if you go to like Kobe's,
go to Chili's. You know what I'm saying?
Even Chili's. Like if you're going to like a Chili's, nice. Say you go to this just a random nice restaurant, locally, and are you going to show up in flip-flops and basketball shorts? No, you're going to show up in you're going to show up in probably some khaki shorts at minimum, I would say.
Like just make an effort. That's really what the cruise line's asking. Right. Make an effort to at least look
presentable.
Somewhat presentable. Like you're going into a fancy type restaurant. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But enough ranting about that. So
sorry.
With
I just got so mad.
But with the main how was the main dining room, like the experience, the service, and then the food as well?
So we ate there most of the other nights, pretty much all the other nights.
Okay.
I like the menu changing every night. Thank God they had French onion soup every night. Service was
Justin would love that.
I would be there every night.
Service was quick. We were in and out like hour 15 minutes. Hudson in the back of the ship. Beautiful. Best dining room ever. I love that. We never had to wait. It's nice that on the screens by the stairs you can check the wait times for all the dining stuff.
That's nice.
That's cool.
Okay. Can you check in for that through the app?
I don't think so. We didn't try.
Okay, because I know on Venezia we did. We would grab our C-Day brunch, or like the one night we went to the dining room, we'd check in on the app and it would ping us when to come down.
And that was really nice. That was a very nice feature that they had.
So sorry, it's not all bad with Carnival. I did really like that a lot with their app.
Yes, for sure.
And while we're talking about the app worked.
That's good.
Yeah, very good.
I actually it's been so long since I've cruised with Norwegian that I just didn't have the app. So whenever we booked to Luna the other day, I finally downloaded it and I was actually going through it. It's actually got a nice UI and it looks like a nice app. It looks pretty easy to get through and everything like that. So as long as it works, I guess.
But the thing is that nice. Keyword, the app worked, because sometimes you go on these cruises and the app doesn't work, and it's frustrating. But the app worked, So it's
That's
fine.
good. Yeah. And sometimes, like with Carnival, with Carnival, you get the app, but all the app is like a countdown. But then when you get on the ship, it's a completely new thing. But like their
Right.
app is, and I wouldn't say this is a good or a bad thing, but their app is more, it's just focused on like your daily planner and
Yeah.
the menus for everything. That's pretty much all that their app is, though.
Yeah.
It works and it's good to have because I can get my fun times right on my phone. But there's also Royal Caribbean where you can book shore excursions, shows, everything on there at once.
Yeah, you can
Mhm.
do all that through the app. While we're talking about shows, I'll go over entertainment was good. We had the guy from Saturday Night Live as our comedian for the week. Don't
That's
remember
cool.
his name. He was an African American gentleman. He was very funny.
He's from SNL, so I'd hope so.
And yeah,
Right.
the production show was okay. I would have probably walked out if I could have. Like, I just don't care for the dancing, the singing. I don't care for that.
Was it like a Broadway
Um,
show, or did they have one?
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't remember the name of it.
Okay, because I
There's
remember
no
like
drones or theater. There's none of that.
yeah, because I remember like the Breakaway Plus ships. There was like a pretty intense, like in really good shows. Like I know Joy has like Footloose, the Jersey Boys on Bliss. Like those were very very good.
Yeah. Love the Jersey Boys, by the way.
Honestly, that was one of my favorite. I would say that's up there with my favorite shows. Honestly, that I've ever seen on a ship is the Jersey Boys.
We saw them in concert down here in
Did you really?
what was it? It was I think at Hard Rock. I think at the Hard Rock Hotel. They had
Wow,
it was like Frankie Valli and the Jersey Boys. It was a really good show.
that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this was like a few years ago, but it was phenomenal. It really was.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was again one of my favorite shows. Like when you combine everything together, I think that was probably my favorite show out of all the cruise lines. Was Jersey
Yeah.
Boys. So kind of bummed because I was looking forward to Footloose on Joy, but we moved it to Luna, so I'm not going to complain too much. But
What is on
Joy's doing 3 nights soon.
that? Would you get really close to the mic or something? Jeez.
I did.
Yeah, he did.
What's on Luna? What's their show?
I don't know. Let's hit the
They haven't
little...
released it.
Oh, they haven't? Okay, I was going to hit Google here real quick, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out.
I guess
soon.
they're different than Royal. Royal has like very specific shows on theirs. Like Star is Back to the Future. Allure was
That
Mamma Mia.
was
They're very
awesome.
specific with that.
Okay,
yeah.
I take it back. Back to the Future was my favorite. Sorry, Jersey Boys.
Oh God, I would go on that
fantastic.
ship just for that show.
It was so good. The casting for that show was very good too. It's not like some of it's like all right, these like the characters like are just kind of bad at acting kind of thing, but like everybody nailed it with Back to the Future.
Right.
Good.
Back to Viva.
Oh.
I'm just gonna skim through a whole bunch of things that on my mind as I'm scrolling through pictures. That room was good. We had a handicapped room. I have a crippled leg. Just kidding. The room was great. It was a love-hate relationship with the automatic door. The room was massive.
I heard about that.
And yeah, it's very awkward. I'll give it
Because
2
it stays
cents.
open, right?
The door is automatic, so you walk up to it, you tap your thing, and they open the door. But then you walk in, the door doesn't close for another 20 seconds. So you're staring at people waiting to get changed, and they're just staring at you walking by.
I just start
It's
changing
like-
and be like,
I would
stop
do
looking.
that. If I saw someone's door like that, I'd be like,
Like, stop looking.
Yeah. So
no.
If you're gonna
room
keep
was
looking,
nice,
look at
room was
this.
clean. It was, what do you call it? Yeah, funny because it's such a love-hate relationship. Then my parents had a balcony. Balcony was great, big, clean, huge shower. I love how big those rooms are.
Okay, yeah. Like, the Prima class, I feel like it touts like one of their biggest and best features of the Prima class is the rooms because of how big they are.
Huge. I mean, it's a
Really?
size and a half bigger than a normal room.
Really?
and I believe everything of that.
Wow.
And you can tell. I love it. I
Yeah.
think every single room. Now you're gonna go back to a regular carnival room, and you're spoiled. Even if you got
Yeah.
a regular inside or a
Honestly, I'm hoping Luna's good because I wouldn't be opposed to switching to Norwegian. I'm
I think
honestly
we can
not.
afford switching to Norwegian.
Yeah, I'm honestly like I'm not loyal to any specific cruise line. I think I mentioned that in a video recently, but like I like to try everybody, but at the same time, like Norwegian seems to be intriguing as of late. So
yeah.
That's true.
So that's the room. Our room steward, Madam Pretzel. Thank you for everything you do. She was good.
Madam Pretzel,
Madam
Yeah.
Pretzel is her name. She wanted
She,
us
like-
to call her Miss Pretzel.
oh okay, I was like, was she
If you're
like
watching,
flexible or
hi.
something?
No,
Yes,
her
that
name
too.
just rhymed with pretzel. So she's like, just call me Pretzel.
Wetzel's Pretzels.
That was her
Yes.
name, actually, Retzel. So that's the rooms. Service was good. I liked at the bar compared to Royal Caribbean. You can order more than one drink at the bar. Why can't I order more than one drink at the bar?
It's probably because
Um,
everybody has a drink package on Norwegian, whereas not everybody does.
Royal
True.
does that too. They're very weird about the way they serve their drinks if you have the drink package.
Yeah, because
Well, I'm saying
they know people are going to
Norwegian,
be like, okay, your buddy doesn't have the drink package, so you're going to go, okay, give me 2, hand one to your buddy.
Right.
But everybody on like 90% of the ship has the drink package on Norwegian.
Little do they know the 2 drinks I'm ordering are both for me.
Yeah. They didn't care. You could order 5. They didn't care.
Don't give Pookie any ideas.
Right.
Listen, when we get on Utopia, you better watch out.
Um,
It's been a long year, dude. I'm finally employed. It's gonna be crazy.
trying to think what else. The ship itself. I feel like we glazed over this multiple times.
Yeah.
I loved it. It felt more like a fancy hotel than a cruise ship. Obviously,
Really?
it's smaller than Wonder of the Seas, and going into it, I don't think people expect it to be as small as it is. It's small. You're not going to have a gazillion things to do. Just sit, relax, and do nothing. How about that?
So why does it feel like a fancy hotel rather than a ship? Like what
The
makes
ceilings
it
were
what makes
very
it feel
low.
okay?
The ceilings were very low. The decor was very like posh, like mirrors, blue colors, ambient lighting. Just that kind of vibe, I should say.
Yeah, and I felt the same way when I toured Aqua. It's just the way it's designed. It's very unique, and it just
Yeah, it's
kind of
very-
gives off that vibe.
It feels upscale, not like you're on a cruise ship and it's like tropical,
Right.
gaudy in your face, Carnival Liberty.
Yes.
It feels like you're,
Exactly.
Yeah.
um,
I feel like that whole project out of Fincantieri, with the Project Leonardo, the Seaside class, the Virgin ships, all of that, even going into Project Ace, I think they all kind of have that same look, and I'm sure they all kind of have like that characteristic of like the low ceilings, because like you mentioned, like just very upscale and like flashy feeling is very MSC as well with that class. So
yeah. Mhm.
and there's very low ceilings going through a lot of the decks too with that ship in areas.
Yes. The entertainment venues, cool. The movie theater is a multi-purpose venue, cool. The comedy club and the whatever dance hall thingy where they listen to rock music all the time, too
Okay.
small. They need to make those bigger. I think they made them bigger on Aqua. I'll have to look back at the video. There were definitely not enough seats for the amount of comedy shows they were doing. And then the issue was on the night, I think 2 or 3 of the nights out of the 7, they would have obviously 2 things going on. So they'd have the main show and then a comedy show. But instead of the comedy show being in the theater like it was all the other nights, they try to cram it in the comedy club. And it's just too small. You're overflowing with people at 30 minutes before the show. And who wants to wait there for an hour just to get a seat that's going to be blocked by other people? it was
Yeah.
kind of annoying. But at least they did do like a lot of seatings for the same show, throughout the week. So if you missed
That's
it
good.
once, you could go back. Layout of the ship was good. Food was good. Overall, we had a great experience. Half the party didn't like the vibe of the ship, as in like making it feel more like a fancy hotel, and they wanted the basketball courts, they wanted the water slides, they wanted the zip lines, they wanted this, that. That's not what this ship is about. You're there for the destination, and
Yeah.
a
I think
lot of
that's
people don't understand that.
Yeah, I think
I agree.
that's the biggest thing I feel like, I guess, in some summary of like everything with this class that we've kind of been talking about, is that these ships weren't designed to be the biggest and the greatest. No, maybe not, greatest is probably not the right word, but like the biggest and most insane thing in the world. These were built to be smaller, more intimate, more traditional cruising in a sense, and focused on the destinations rather than, trying to slam anything and everything they can on board like the Oasis and the Icon are.
Yep.
Right.
But
That's why they are smaller than everything else in the industry right now. That is why that was their goal, is to be like that.
Right.
So
It was specific for that. Exactly.
So it's good that it kind of, I guess in theory, accomplished their goal and achieved that. So, but I think a lot of people outside of the industry or in the industry are like looking for not that, with the biggest and craziest things in the world, whereas these are just kind of more, smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, to summarize, we had a great time, a great cruise. I would definitely go on the ship again. It was a great, nothing horrible to say about the trip. Besides the fact it was only 7 days and I wanted to be there longer. Yes, Gerald,
Yes.
I see you.
Yes,
Thank
we see you in the
joining.
chat, Jerry.
What's Jerry saying? What does he want?
He's like, nobody's reading the chat. It's a podcast. We're here to chat.
Back off, Jerry. Love you though, roommate. Love you.
We had a great time, great cruise. Food was good, service was good, ports were good, ship was good. I mean, the past few cruises we've been on, there have been issues as of us almost crashing and the other one almost, issues. So this one went smoothly for once, and
Almost crash. Oh my god! Yeah, the seascape. You post one video of a line snapping on a cruise ship, and they blacklist you.
The fact that I was on FaceTime with Demetri as that was happening, I'm like, uh-oh.
I literally go, I gotta go. I gotta start filming.
Right, exactly. I go, I think you guys are moving.
Yeah, we shouldn't be. We're tied up.
Exactly.
Any other questions? I mean, we just had a great time. It was a great cruise. Anybody who wants to go on the Prima class, you got to do it. Don't listen to the hate. It was fine. I'm usually a pretty hard guy to impress, and it was a completely
This is true.
great week. Yes.
Yes, it's true. It is true.
So I guess in conclusion,
All right, I'm going to cut you off again. Not loyal to Norwegian. I want to go on Star really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, please don't tempt me in going on it.
I'm in.
Oh, I'll tempt you.
Brandon's really good at that.
Look, you got to say
That's why I don't answer his calls anymore.
You got to look at me funny, and I'll book a cruise. So
look at you funny. You just have to look at you.
This is also true. Most people just look at me funny in general, but that's okay.
Well, hey, that's just what we are,
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that, I guess to finish this out, scale of 1 out of 10, what would you give the Norwegian Viva?
I would give our cruise probably like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. And if I were to compare it to like Seascape, that would be like a 6 maybe. And Wonder would probably be like an 8. So like it was a great time. On our past couple cruises, it was great. Comparatively, I would do the exact same thing over again if I could. So
awesome. Well, that's very good. You heard it here first, folks.
And why is she going to Galveston and not coming here? Give it back to us.
I'll let you know in like 2 months. I'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, thank you, Demetri, for sharing your thoughts and everything of the ship. And anything else before we let everyone go for the night?
I don't think so. Gerald and Coop, thank you for joining us. This is the best podcast ever. We're going to say that every week from now on.
Yes.
That's right. I also have your star model. Sorry I didn't give it to you last week.
So you're dropping it off to me when you
I
come
told
home.
Brandon, don't let him gaslight you, though. I told him to remind me.
Whoa,
I told you.
no,
I told Demetri to remind me, and he
no.
didn't. And now it's in South Florida.
Let me end the podcast.
It's fine. I have nowhere to put it anyways, so it's fine.
All right. Well,
thanks for watching. Bye.
All right. Yes. With that, thank you all so much for watching. I guess next week we've got a pre-cruise podcast for Utopia of the Seas, don't we? And also, I think we might get a bonus one in here. I know Tyler, the cruise junkie, we're trying to get him in with a different kind of topic as well. So we may.
I didn't know that.
Well, we do now, but.
Okay.
But yeah, so we might end up with a bonus next week. Maybe not, but we'll keep you guys in touch, or I guess stay tuned for next week. Because at minimum we'll get at least one podcast next week. So thank you all for hanging out so much.
For Utopia OTS of the Seas. Goodbye, everybody.
Yes.
All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for listening, watching,
Good night.
wherever you're
Sorry,
at.
I'm gonna
Have a good night.
Bye.